night that I met you, I didn't know
Listening to In the Shy Radio on Intellectual Radio.
Playing with those knobs. Sit down and concentrate so we can continue the show.
Hi, and thank you for tuning in once again to Intellectual Radio. You got your girl, D. Lee, along with my co-host,
CT Powerhouse,
and my other great co-host,
Jaja.
And together we are
In the Shy Radio.
Oh, we much stronger than we was last week, huh? It's still good to be in the house of Earl.
Hey. Last week was a wonderful show. It was a nice little intro.
It was.
Now we got to talk about some serious issues this week, and let's get down to business.
Okay, what we're going to be talking about this week, CT?
Well, we're going to talk about what everybody's been talking about around the United States and in the nation, Colin Kaepernick.
Okay, yes. the quarterback that refused to stand during the national anthem.
That's right.
He's created quite an uproar.
I mean, they are burning his jersey. They're calling him the N-word.
Yes.
And I mean, he's 50-50, right?
He is.
You make it sound like he's an old 50-50 drink or something. Your little Canfield's drink, 50-50. That's what I know about.
No, I'm just saying, I know that nationally they say if you have one drop, then you are in.
Well, right. He's half black, half white.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by 50-50.
All right. I thought you were talking about the Canfield's pops back in the day, so.
No. So what we're going to be discussing today is basically his stance. We're going to discuss the protest, and also we've been doing a lot of research. I'm going to pull Michael Jordan into this matter. We got to pull a little in the shy. We got to pull somebody from the shy into this matter. But I'm pretty much going to let CT spearhead this because it's sports, and you know how men feel about sports issues.
Yes.
So.
Well, you know what? I've been listening to both sides of the argument about this issue, and at first I was conflicted, but then I had to sit back and actually, do a little research and actually read up on the subject and everything. And now I'm not so conflicted, and I really feel bad for this brother for what he's going through. But let's just be honest. This is a second go around. This is not anything original. History tends to repeat itself. And this happened actually, believe it or not, 20 years ago. But we're going to go more in depth about that, later on into the show. Because what we want to do is that we want to address the issue, break down the issue, talk about it, and actually leave the viewers your own opinion as far as what's your take on it.
Right, I agree, because that's what we do. We entertain, first of all, then we engage, and then we educate.
Exactly, and that's definitely what we want to do.
That's what we do here at IntellectualRadio.com. See, I'm a little rusty again. I have to look up there and see that we feed your brain. I'm going to keep my glasses on too, because when I can't see, I can't hear, and my other superpowers don't do that good either. But I want to start off by giving a big congratulations to Steve.
We need our bell.
Right. Yeah. Right. Where's that cowbell? I need a little bit more cowbell.
Oh, where's our cowbell?
I need more cowbell.
So, ladies, I just want to let you know that he is off the market. Yeah. Those of you that remember In the Shy Radio, remember that Steve used to come before us. Or after us, I'm not for sure.
He used to come after us.
He's come after us, and he was the one that said he was pretty handsome. Well, he still is. But when you're married, you don't look that good anymore.
Right? Is that what it is?
So that's what
he never looked good to me, but he's that's just.
He was the one that said he was gonna give you the best, and this is how he said it, ladies. I'm gonna give you the best time of your life.
Yeah, he put some extra on there.
Yeah, so extra seasoning.
Right.
Now he's off the market because I guess somebody gave him the best time of his life.
Must have.
That's right. Congratulations, brother.
That's right.
He said that one right there is mine.
That's right.
So her name is Belinda, I believe.
Yes.
Steve and Belinda, I want to give a big congratulations to you, all of us here at Intellectual Radio. We want to wish you well and many, many more happy and loving years.
Most definitely. And congratulations to you both.
We have birthday wishes to give out.
We do. And we also have another. Speaking of marriage, I want to say a very happy anniversary to Andrea and Arthur Smith.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to them. They've been married for 15 years today. So happy anniversary to you guys.
Happy anniversary. And we have happy birthdays to give out. I don't look it, I know. I'm a grandma.
Oh,
I have Aiden, who is my 3-year-old. And he is the love of my life. He can have any and everything that I have.
Grandparents.
Anything.
Spoiled.
Yes. He made 3 on the 27th. And one of our loyal listeners, William Farley.
Yes.
Today is his birthday.
All right.
So we definitely want to
Birthday.
give a big happy birthday to him. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to put CT in charge. And he is going to tell us all about what we got coming up. So we'll be back right after this.
Are you looking for today's hottest new online radio station? Check out IntellectualRadio.com. They offer over 60 intellectual radio shows. That's IntellectualRadio.com. It's time to feed your brain. It's Great Talk Radio with amazing shows for everyone. Like them on Facebook at Intellectual Radio. Streaming radio 24/7. Increase your knowledge and increase your mind with the hottest new radio station on the planet. That's ITLRadio.com. Feed your brain.
You're listening to In the Shy Radio on IntellectualRadio.com.
Tuning into Intellectual iHeart Station. D and Charles will feed your brain every Thursday, 8 to 9. Turn it up now, because we about to entertain your mind.
Stop playing with those knobs. Sit down and concentrate so we can continue the show.
Welcome back to IntellectualRadio.com.
Yes.
Earl over there smiling. See, Earl, he throwing me off. I'm going to stop putting in promos with Earl name in it because he over there smiling and cheesing from ear to ear. He throwing me,
Right, Mr. Producer.
he throwing me off. So, CT, I'm going to let you go ahead and just spearhead. This is your campaign. I'm going to let you go ahead and roll with it, and we're just going to chime in.
Well, for those who don't know, Colin Kaepernick is the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. And last week, doing a preseason game with the Green Bay Packers, he took the invariable stance of sitting during the national anthem. Okay. And as a result of his actions, it's created quite an uproar within everyone within the United States. And it's actually created some type of division, as far as what's been going on. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But for those who don't know who Colin Kaepernick is, he's a biracial individual. He's half black, half white. And actually, he was raised by white adoptive parents. So that gives you just a little bit background on the subject. And you have all type of individuals chiming in and everything, giving their opinion and whatnot. And for those who want to actually give your opinion over the air, we definitely have a telephone number for you. You can actually call in on Intellectual Radio, which is 708-223-8953. And we would definitely love to hear your opinion on this matter. So what we want to do is that we want to give, we want to start out actually by, giving a little bit of brief history on exactly his quote on why he did it. And here was, and I quote, his reason. "I'm not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. To me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to look the other way. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder." In a nutshell. Okay. So people have really been upset, Dealey, about this.
I understand that, but I'm upset about a lot of things, especially when he say paid leave. We're going to talk about that as well, but go ahead, because I understand he's upset that people's getting paid leave and they're committing offenses against the black community.
Correct.
But go ahead with your comment, and then I'll chime in.
Well, believe it or not, I'm not against what this brother did, because first of all, he has a First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
We all do, yeah.
But once it's put on a public forum, now everyone's been involved in it. Now it's on a public stage. I'm not mad at him whatsoever for what he did. And be honest with you, let's just be honest. We all black folk in here. We all black folk family.
That's right.
There are times where I sat down during the national anthem because I feel like sometimes I have no part in it. Yeah. And I did a little research on the national anthem. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. And actually digging deeper with the national anthem, what most people don't know, we're just singing part of a song.
Okay. And what song is that?
Well, no, the national anthem is not sung in its entirety.
No, there are only usually 2 bars or something of it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, just a little historical aspect. The Star Spangled Banner was written by Francis Scott Key in 1814. Okay. And it didn't become a national anthem until 1931. So let's get some historical fact on that. Okay. Now, there are actually 3 more verses that are not even spoken about, but I'm going to talk about one verse in particular, and I'm going to read that verse. Okay. And it reads, "No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave, or the land of the free and home of the brave." That stanza in itself celebrates the slaughter of runaway slaves who fled to the British in exchange for freedom during the War of 1812. Now, most people don't know that.
Exactly.
And
I had to pause on that one.
and like I said, just doing a little research of what that stanza means. Okay. And it's actually, be honest with you, it's racist.
It is.
It's racist. It's absolutely racist. See, in my opinion, if we don't know our history, then we can't move forward as a people.
They say that if you don't know where you came from, you don't know
From
where
whence
you're
you
going.
came.
That's right.
You know, so
That's the truth.
reading this gives me a whole different perspective about the song. And I'm sure Colin Kaepernick didn't even think about this when he sat down, because he was trying to make a point against the police brutality of what's going on in the United States right now and people getting away with as far as the police. But that's what that stanza means. We don't sing this we don't even say this at all. It's been basically, you know, just kind of wiped away from the general public.
Right.
Okay. And if you want to do your research, please do, because I love people doing research. But that's what that stanza means. And it was just really eye-opening. Celebrates the slaughter of runaway slaves who fled to the British.
So is he sitting now because of what it stands for, or is he sitting now because of what America stands for with the violence and the police that's getting off? I mean, come on now.
He's sitting because of the latter of what you just explained, because of the police violence. I'm sure he had no idea about what this song really entails. Okay. He's trying to make a statement, and believe it or not, they play again tonight. And he was actually saying again, he's not going to stand during the national anthem.
Right.
Okay.
But
now,
you know that he's in where is this game being played? San Diego.
Is it real? Okay.
And
In San Diego. If they're in San Diego or San Francisco, wherever it is being played, it's not going to be seen favorably.
Populated with army, and military personnel.
Okay.
So he really getting set up.
Wow.
He's getting set up, and he's setting himself up not to be popular in the NFL.
Sometimes being popular is not, sometimes just standing for something that you believe in has to be enough. It can't always be the popular decision.
Exactly. It's kind of like being a parent. There's some things you have to do with your children that most likely is not the most popular decision, but you have to do it as a parent to stand on your morals and stand on who you are as a person.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, just like the views and opinions of In the Shy Radio is not that of Intellectual Radio, but we still represent Intellectual Radio. So we cannot be foolish. I cannot stand here and put my breasts out. I cannot stand here.
Oh, please, we don't want you to do that.
But
we don't want you to do that.
I'm just saying, you have to. I'm not against him. I'm not against what he stands for. But I'm saying now, you said during the national anthem. We understand what you did, but now where do you go from there? Where do you go with your money, with the millions that you're getting paid from the NFL, who is your employer? Where do you go from there to help the community?
Well, let me be devil's advocate. You quoted one thing. I'm going to use one word out that whole entire phrase that you said. Money.
Yes.
Where do you go with your money? Are you enslaved by it, or are you your man? Are you a slave to the money? Are you your own man?
That's right.
Not necessarily money. It's your actions. I'm saying, okay, you set. We get that you set. We understand that. We united with you as a people. But now, where do we go from there? Where do we move on from there to let them know that all of the things and the injustice that they are inflicting on us, we don't tolerate it?
It's called enlightenment.
Okay.
And everything in the dark eventually comes to the light.
It does.
And by this, what his action is actually bringing the issue to the forefront and to the light. That's what this issue is about, bringing it to the light. That's why we're sitting here talking about it today.
Right.
I think
it's not about the Star Spangled Banner. It's just not.
I think we're actually talking about it because it has brought about controversy.
It has.
Exactly. And it's bringing the issue to light. Once again, a lot of things back in the past, we didn't have camera phones. We didn't have, recordings and stuff like that, where it's catching everything that was being talked about in the community, but it's never seen. Now, once you put a camera on it, oh, now it's being seen for everyone to see. That's one thing I love about technology. It has its good and its bad. The bad thing is, hey, socially, we may not be able to learn how to talk to one another, but it puts everything you do out in the limelight.
But this is not the first time, excuse me, I hope you know, in history that a black athlete have stood up against that.
No, it's not. I mean, Dwayne Wade is done.
I mean, what is Jackie Robinson? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Jackie Robinson said at one point he did not even like singing the national anthem.
Right.
And we're talking about Jackie Robinson, the pioneer of the baseball game, the first African-American to play baseball.
He said, why am I singing the home of the Braves and I can't even go in the cafeteria and get a good sandwich?
And I understand it. And believe it or not, it's not to that point now where we can actually do something, but there is systematic slavery that we're still succumb to this day. It's not outright. Sometimes it's outright blatant, but let's just be honest. A lot of times it's economical as well.
It is.
So
money rules the world.
Absolutely, money rules the world. That's why I'm going to bring up the subject about Michael Jordan. He also had a protest back in 1990. A lot of people don't know, but he had a protest as well. He refused to stand up against a black politician that was going against a white one. And I'll give you that story a little later. I want to say in a minute, but we don't have our segment up. So I'll give it to you a little later. But I think that you need a break. You need a break?
Yeah, we need a little small break.
So we'll get back into this conversation in a minute. I'm gonna let CT go ahead and take over this show today, because for some reason we all got on glasses today. What's up with that?
Can't see the
I'm legally blind. I'm legally blind, folks. I can't see without them.
Is this subject so heavy that we got to
make sure we get it all in there?
We got to get it all.
We got to get it all.
We'll be back right after this.
All right.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach.
You're listening to In the Shy Radio on Intellectual Radio. In the Shy Radio on IntellectualRadio.com.
Welcome back. Once again, you got your girl D. Lee, and we have my co-host
CT Powerhouse
and my other great co-host. And I'm gonna say it together. We are in the Shy Radio.
There we go. There we go.
All right. I'm sorry, Jaja. I'm taking you out the game tonight, huh? I told you, CT, I wasn't no good. You should have just took over the ship. You should have took over the ship when I gave it to you.
It's all right. 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 It is all right.
So CT, we got some comments.
Yes, we wanted. We have Skylar Smith.
Skylar is on Facebook Live with us.
Yes, Skylar and Tim and Lola and our guest that's in the audience with us, Tara. She's on Facebook Live with us.
Welcome, Miss Tara. She's in studio with us.
Yes, she is.
All
So
right.
what is the comments?
Everybody is watching. They're saying great show. Hey, you guys look great. Thank you guys so much.
All
We
right.
appreciate your comments, but we want some comments on the subject. We appreciate all your comments. We know we look good, don't we?
I know. I feel real good. Maybe it's the hack going on. I don't know.
It's the glasses.
No, we want the feedback. We want the interaction. We want to we want to interact with you. We want to be able to encourage you. We want to be able to educate you. That's the purpose of the show. We don't do this show just to come on and just for people to see us on YouTube or on iHeartRadio. We do this show so that we can give out some information that you can use to help feed your brain.
That's right. That's right. It's what we do. It's what we do. But this national anthem controversy has really got everybody in uproar, including myself. Actually made me sit back in my chair at work and just maybe think and ponder some things as far as where we are as a country right now, as a people. Josh, you got anything to add?
I've noticed that as I did some research, people are kind of like not in the middle. They're kind of like they really, really like what he did and think that it's the best thing. And other people like really, really hate him. Some of the comments were really brutal.
What were some of the comments that you came across?
I came across some that called him all kinds of racial names. Other people who says that it's not patriotic, that it's that how dare he? He plays a sport that's an American sport, and how dare he not provide, stand up and say, you know what, this is what's the norm, and this is what you should do.
Exactly.
But see, speaking of the norm, this is going to be another show topic. And when we first started out, CT, that's why I had a problem when you said something about him getting paid for that. You said something in the opening when we opened up. You were stating about the pay. I have a problem with people. I really do. I don't have a problem with your beliefs, but I have a problem with people that get paid and don't celebrate holidays. Okay. Now, to me, that's just you have double standards. How are you saying that you're against something, but you're able to make money off of it? I don't understand that. He's playing for an American team, an American football team. He's not playing for Colin's team. He's playing for an American football team. And they can play whatever anthem they want to play. They can play America the Beautiful. But he have the right to sit there, and I just feel be quiet.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Of course, if you're going to stand, you're going to stand. But by him sitting there, what are we gaining as a community? What are we gaining?
Well, here's the thing. And like I said, this is a real delicate subject. But being quiet, sometimes it's not what you say, it's what you do that draws attention, which we have here, with him sitting or being abstinent from partaking in the national anthem. It's his actions that's come to the forefront. And even though he's getting paid, and this man is sacrificing a lot of money for the stance that he's taking. Listen, that's not, and it's a brave thing that he's doing, and I just want to congratulate this brother for actually going out on the limb and being a man. And that was what I was going to say. In the beginning, you are a man. In the beginning, you are a woman, and you stand on that. Now, the minute that you go and you've done everything in life and you pass on, at the end of the day, I am a man, and I want to be respected as one. Okay. And if it's not done equally, I have a problem with it. Now, back in the day, we had problems with it. We stood up against it. And a lot of people probably didn't agree with the way it was probably done then. And a lot of people are not going to agree the way things are done now as far as protesting.
Right.
But just to give you, like I said before, this is not the first time this has happened at all.
And it's not going to be the last. And that's why I'm saying we have to do something more than protest. We should overcome. We have been overcoming since Martin Luther King. Have we overcame?
No, we have not.
So when are we going to stop overcoming?
It's a difference in how we're overcoming. There's some things we have overcome, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done Okay, and just to give, like I said, he's not the first one, and the first athlete to do it was actually Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who was a point guard for the Denver Nuggets, and he's best known for the controversy created when he refused to stand for the Star-Spangled Banner before games, stating that the flag was a symbol of oppression, and the United States had a long history of tyranny. He said that standing to the national anthem would therefore conflict with his Islamic beliefs. Okay. That date, on March 12, 1996, the NBA suspended Abdul-Rauf 1 game for his refusal to stand. 2 days later, the league was able to work out a compromise with him whereby he would stand during the playoffs or the playing of the national anthem, but he would close his eyes and look downward. And he was usually silent and recited Islamic prayer during that time.
I'm finna be Oprah. Where is he now?
He was blackballed from the league he was blackballed, but he took a stance. It wasn't about the money.
No, I understand. We take a stance every day. I mean, like you said, in the homes with our kids, when we discipline them, we take a stance. But you have to move from doing the same thing, being in the norm, because nothing is coming from it. They're still killing innocent people.
Exactly, but it has to be. Yes, innocent people are still dying. Let's not even get past that. But it has to be talked about. It has to be brought to the forefront. It has to be brought to light. Before we can come to a resolution, we have to sit and discuss these things, what's going on in our community. So I commend him for going out on the limb and taking a stand for what he believes is right. I'm not clowning him at all for what he did.
I'm not clowning him either.
At all. I think it's brave, and I commend him, because a lot of people who will shrivel up and sit in the corner with their thumb in the mouth because they didn't want to sacrifice their money or their status.
Well, I support him. And going back to Jordan, back in the 1990s, there was a election going on. I want to say the man's name is Hand. Can someone do research for me? Jordan did not stand up against a white politician who was going against a black politician. And the reason being, the man was a Republican and Jordan was a Democrat. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he is very vocal in this as well. He came to Jordan. He said, you have got to do something because the community look up to you. Everyone is buying your shoes and they really love you. You have to do something to stop the racism and to stop this man from winning the election. Jordan then came back and said, and I quote, Republicans buy gym shoes too. So I'm saying, was Jordan wrong for saying that?
You know what? Jordan was not wrong, because he was thinking from a mindset of a businessman.
Right.
At the end of the day, he was protecting his interests.
And that's all I'm saying. Colin needs to protect his interests.
Well,
I mean, there is a platform and there's a forum for everything. Like I said, this platform right here is for us to give our opinion. Will I go to what's stadium?
Colin Powell?
Yeah.
Colin Powell, excuse me. Colin Kaepernick. He plays for the 49ers.
Will I go to their stadium and stand in the middle of their stadium and say what I'm saying now? Absolutely not. So I'm saying there's a time and a place for everything, and everything you have to do, it has to be accordingly. You have to order your steps, and you have to make sure that they are correct. What he's doing is correct, but where do we go from there? How long are you going to sit and lose money and lose the power that you have in the NFL? He was supposed to be the next starting quarterback, correct?
Well, let's take this back. He was a starting quarterback, and a lot of people are saying he took this stance because he actually lost his position to another quarterback. So they feel he's using this as a platform to still be in the limelight, which I think is a weak.
So now you're acting like a brat.
I think it's a very weak argument.
Now you're mad because
it's a very weak argument.
Listen.
The fact is that this man took a stance. I don't care if he's a starting quarterback or I don't care if he's third string. This man took a stance.
CT gonna talk over me now because he is a sports buff and he's a gentleman. I'm gonna say gentleman lightly because he's talking over me, but that's okay. But I'm saying now you're a brat. You want to take your ball and you want to go home because you're not the starting quarterback.
That's why I feel that's a weak argument. That's a very weak argument. That man.
But it may be true.
I don't think so at all. That this has nothing to do whether or not he starts or not, in my opinion.
So what incident sparked that? Because I mean, everything that he's not standing for happened months ago.
He said in the past that he has done this before. This was not the first time he's done this. And he said he gave it a lot of thought, and he kind of talked to his family about it. and he said he did not share it with anyone on his team beforehand. I don't know if it was one of those things where he got stuck in the moment and he just decided this is the time. But thinking back to just in general, like I said, things that are that sometimes we feel so strongly about something. A lot of times we don't say anything. So
Right.
I don't know if he felt like this was his time to say, you know what, it's not comfortable, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's not necessarily about me. It's bigger than me. I was reading, you mentioned Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he made a comment that said, at some point in the very near future, he needs to figure out a way where he can be a part of the solution.
That's what I'm saying. Come up with a solution. Yes.
And Mr. Jabbar also went on to say, so I would suggest that Mr. Kaepernick, that he tried to become a bridge between the Black community and the police forces.
That's not going to happen. I'm telling you what they need to do. And a lot of people will not agree with this part. They need to let Jeff Ford. They need to let, what is his name over the GDs? Hoover. They need to let them gentlemen out. Because when they was out here, we didn't have all this.
Well, that's
we had a different. I mean, you need to get some leaders that can talk to them, that can say, hey, okay, you're part of this organization, but this is not what we do.
Well, Delia, I think that's a whole totally different issue, because we're talking about the police brutality amongst African Americans. And this is what also he quoted. He said, this is something that I'm not going to run by anybody. I'm not looking for approval. I have to stand up for people that are oppressed. If they take football away, my endorsements from me, I know that I stood up for what is right. He also said that he thought about going public with his feelings for a while, but he felt that he needed to understand the situation better. Said he discussed it with his family after a few months of witnessing some of the civil unrest in the United States, decided to be more active, involved in the rights for Black people.
Let me give you a little bit of history. I used to work in the correctional system at the Cook County Jail. I worked there for approximately 12 years. I left and went back. When I went back, it was Snow White, because they changed the policy. Now you must have a associate and a bachelor's. All of the officers that made the jail what it was and that had control of the jail was no more. When I went there, I was in fear of my life when I went back. You know why?
Why?
Because everybody is into social services, and you don't understand my oppression. So you don't understand my attitude. You don't understand why I talk with my hands. When I talk with my hands, you're intimidated. But see, the officers of old, they weren't intimidated, and they took control. They said, you better put your hands in your pocket when you talk to me. But the new officers, they all get on the walkie-talkie, and here come 20. And they all slamming down on the inmate. So that's one of the reasons why I had to leave. For one, I felt unsafe, and for two, I couldn't take it anymore. You know, the things that they have, the old officers have to sit on their hands. They can't do anything, because if they do something, then they're being over-aggressive. Then they have to go downstairs and write paperwork over being over-aggressive. So I said that to say, you need to get people that look like me in my community so that they can relate to me. Then maybe we won't have all this police brutality.
And that's,
instead of getting someone because they have an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's.
Well, you know, let me just pick
say it. Don't be.
I'm not scared at all, but let me piggyback off this. Just because you have a degree does not mean you have common sense to deal with people.
True.
Absolutely.
And it's not. And I always tell people, it's not what you say, it's how you say things.
Yes, but you have to know how to relate.
But here's the problem. You got a lot of people who have badges, and let's just be honest, they were bogus to begin with. Now they get a badge and a gun. Now they feel like they have power and dominion over someone.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You're already timid. Then you get this gun, and the first thing you know, what was you trained to do? Shoot to kill at any threat.
Exactly. But once again, that person shouldn't even been in a position of power.
They shouldn't be.
But since they quote unquote qualified on paper, well, they had an opportunity, you know. And speaking of opportunity, and that's why you see a lot of turmoil right now going on in the Chicagoland area. We talk about, you know, what's going on in the Chi. Well, let's talk about what's going on in the Chi. You have a lot of people that's out here without opportunity, because I work as a career coach. And I see these folks come in and day out, and I give them opportunity. Sometimes I get out the way and I tell them, like, I'm not even gonna step in your way. I don't care what you did. You know, as far as your past, that's over with. So now it's time for you to start a new life. You know, I've put personally Class X murderers on the road, you know, earning a suitable living.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Because someone's behind to give them an opportunity. You know, and that's my job. It's not even about the pay. It's about the opportunity I'm able to give people who are otherwise not able to receive an opportunity. And with that lack of opportunity that's out here in the streets right now, people are going to survive in one way or another.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody has to
you
eat.
upside the head.
Exactly. I look, you know, we get mad at the beggar, you know, but I'd rather you ask me than put a gun in my head and take it from me.
I don't know. I am a devil's advocate because, I'm mad at the beggar. You know why? Because he lives in the house better than me and you. He take all them dollars. He make $1,000 a day. Take all them dollars home to his house, his $300,000 house.
You think that really happened?
This is nothing that I'm talking about. This is something that they have actually researched.
I mean,
everything that's out there begging ain't poor.
My father told me this. He's like, if you ever give somebody some money, even family members, don't expect it back.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
Don't expect it back. Now, whatever you do with it, I did it out the kindness of my heart, and I gave that to you in good faith. Now, what you do from that point on is up to you. If you deceived me to obtain money from me, it's going to come back on you in the end. I don't worry about that. I just worry about my actions and how I treat other people and how I talk to other people.
That's true.
You know, and I really think that's where we should be as a society right now. I know we're getting, you know, to the social aspect, but people don't know how to talk anymore. You know, they don't know how to sit down and come to the table. Right now, people, you know, back in the day, we used to talk it out, fight it out, but yet we come back and live another day. And there's no talking nowadays. Now they shooting out guns and everybody's being a victim now. Everybody's a victim, you know, and that it just piggybacks off this situation here. You know, no one wants to come to the table. And secondly, when you have money involved, people naturally want to protect their own interests.
Right.
So when they protect their own interests, well, hey, if I don't have to deal with it, well, it's not a problem to me. But it is a problem because we're a global community.
So what do you think his principle is? I mean, what do you think he's standing for? I mean, in other words, sitting. Why is he sitting?
I think he's sitting, in my opinion, he's sitting for the rights of minorities who have been done wrong as far as the prejudices, the daily prejudices they go through dealing with law enforcement. And until things change, he's going to continue to sit in protest. Now, the only way that we do come to solution is what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, is that we have to build a bridge between our community and law enforcement and come together and come to solutions. I mean, there may be, and it's going to take a while. It's nothing that's going to happen overnight, but you know, we have to be able to come together and talk to and respect one another, because at the end of the day, they put on their pants just like I do every day. They get up and go to work, you know, and they risk their lives every day. And I respect them for that, you know, and there are bad, and in any situation, there are bad apples, but as a whole, not everyone's bad, but it's the bad apples that's actually bringing attention to the whole entire thing, the whole entire game as far as law enforcement.
I agree with that. So we're going to let CT close this out in a minute. I don't know, CT. I hope I don't have anybody coming after me, but that's just my views and my opinions.
Well,
honestly, I look at some people at work that say that they don't celebrate holidays. They don't celebrate birthdays, but we give them something for their birthday and they take it. Exactly. You don't celebrate the holiday, but you take the pay.
Oh, of course.
I don't understand. No, I don't understand it.
You know, people, look.
I don't.
It's not, you know, it's not, be honest with you, Dealey, it's not for me to understand. I just know if they take it, in fact, if I know that you don't celebrate this day and I give you a gift, well, first of all, my bad, because I shouldn't have gave you the gift in the first place.
Right. But I shouldn't accept it.
Well, you know, hey, people have their own agendas. You know, like I said, the only thing I can control is me and my good heart and good faith.
All right.
So
with that said, we'll be back in a minute.
In the Shy Radio every Thursday at 8, discussing issues and people which make Chicago great on IntellectualRadio.com.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I like things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs.
You just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic
This week's show is sponsored See Right Landscaping. Contact Carlos for all your landscaping needs, from lawn care to snow removal, at 847-863-7668. Tell him In the Shy Radio sent you.
Well, welcome back to IntellectualRadio.com. We have a very hot subject today.
It's been a great show. It's been a great show so far.
No, CT, I don't want you to get my panties all in a bunch like that no more.
I said I was going to bring the thunder today.
Woo, you brought it. You brought it, but that's all right. We got some sunshine behind that thunder.
That's right.
So we have some closing remarks, and then we're just going to tell you, we want you to hit us up on IntellectualRadio.com. You can leave your message, your comments, your concerns on our message board. You can also go to Intellectual Radio on our Facebook page. I'll let Jaja also give her Facebook page if she would like. You can hit me up at D. Lee on my Facebook page as well. We want you to be involved in this show. We don't do this because we want to do it. We do this for you.
Exactly. And going out, I have one last quote. This was when Harry Belafonte did an interview with Roland Martin, one of my Alpha brothers, and he said one quote that was so on point. And the quote goes as this, and this is on the National Anthem protest. Those who are comfortable with our oppression are the first to criticize us for daring to speak out.
Oh,
Cha-ching.
Beyonce, you dropped the mic.
That's it. That's it.
And with that, we're going to go out. Well, we're going to go out with our national anthem. And this is where we from.
Chicago. Did you not get the memo? 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 I want to Chicago, my city, Chicago.